Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today I'm going to make a project using some of these papers. This is called the Going Places Designer Series Pack, and it's quite masculine, a bit travellery-ish, and I've just got some little pieces here, so I'm going to be using those. I'm also going to be using the World Traveller Textured Impressions Embossing Folder, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it looks absolutely fantastic when it's embossed. So I've got some other bits and pieces here, so we'll get started. First thing I'm going to bring in is my embossing folder. Because it's just a little one, I'm going to use my Texture Boutique. At the time of filming, this Texture Boutique is still available and heavily discounted. It's just like a little mini embossing machine, a bit smaller than the Big Shot, so handy to use and carry around, but it doesn't cut at all, it only embosses. So I'm just going to run this through. It also does not take a 6 inch by 6 inch, it only takes a regular embossing folder size, so a card front size. Just so you know. Whoops. So I've got this little piece here, a scrap piece. This is the soft suede ink, and I'm inking this up with a brayer. And to make, I'm sure you can see the impression on there, but to make it pop a bit, just taking some of that off. And you can see, doesn't that look lovely? Like a really kind of aged map look. It's what it's making me think of. Just put those out of the way. Now you can ink on the inside of the embossing folder and various other things, but the ways I've played with this, that is actually the best effect. I'm really liking that effect. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going to have a card base in Lost Lagoon, which seems fairly appropriate. And I'm just going to do a bit of a sort of a collage effect and make up a card. So I put this over to the right hand side and then take one of the pieces of paper which has also got a map, or it's got some little nautical things on the other side. Compass, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to go top to bottom on there and then just trim that excess off. And then a bit of stamping. I'm going to use Dream Big. This comes from Enjoy the Little Things. Woo! Try to keep my grid paper. Oh, it's off the camera, so I'll just keep that. Don't look at that bit of grid paper over there. It's filthy now. And I'm also going to stamp on a piece of soft suede with the soft suede ink. I think I'll try. It's not dark enough for me, so plan number 2. I'm going to stamp that on. That looks better. That's the little suitcase. That is from the Traveller stamp set, which I know lots of you have got. And I'm going to cut out my suitcase. And just with the soft suede ink, just daub that a little bit. And then with the Dream Big, I'm going to punch that out with a 2-inch circle punch. It's not the camera, sorry about that. And then just daub a little bit around the edge there. And what I'm going to do is to stick this one just overlapped onto this one. Now the reason for this is because it's far too fussy for me to fussy cut the hole in the handle out. So I need some of that same colour to be behind that handle. And in fact I've glued that and I meant to put it on with dimensional, but it's not too late. So I want that handle to be over the top of the soft suede. It stops me having to cut that out, to fussy cut that out. And then some glue on there. And support that layer with another dimensional. I want to stick this on first. It's another piece of this paper from that stack. And dream big. And then I've got a couple of buttons. These are the basics gold. They come in silver and gold. And I'm going to just pop those up. And I have already, so I didn't have to do it on camera, threaded some linen thread through those buttons. Let's see if I can see a glue dot. I can. Stuck the big one on with a dimensional, the small one goes on with a glue dot. There you go. So when I saw this card, I thought, or I had this card in my mind, and I thought, you know, I love that that effect. Can you see? That's where I dropped the ink on. I'm sorry, we're just going to have to pause here in my thinking. Because now we're going to have to distress the whole thing as though we meant to do that. We did, didn't we? We did mean to distress the whole thing. We can't have a partially distressed card. It's either distressed or it's not. Partially distressed just leaves me feeling distressed. There we go. That looks better. We can feel happier about it now. Now, when I was thinking about this and looking at these different elements that I was going to use, I kept thinking pirate map. It was saying to me pirate map. And then I realised that in my room I've got this bottle with a cork. And so I've made myself a nice pirate map look. And I'm going to pop that in. Like a message in a bottle. And hopefully it'll open out a little bit. In fact, if I get a pencil, I can probably put that in. There we go, and open that out a little bit so you can see it's a map in there. And then we need some pieces of 8 in there. So I've got some buttons and punched out some little pieces of gold foil just to cover them. Now I could have just put gold foil in, but that's going to make a much more convincing piece of 8, isn't it? So we've got some pieces of 8 in there. Put the cork in the top. I've stamped this little wish. That comes from that same stamp set I was using, the Enjoy the Little Things. So I've stamped the wish. I've taken some twine. Now this is a bit of a thicker twine because what I've done is taken this, the name escapes me, but I'm going to put it on the video, this stuff, and I've just pulled out, if you can see, you can just pull out a single strand of it. So I've pulled out a strand of that. I'm going to wrap that, or put that through the wish, and then wrap that a few times around the top of the bottle. And don't you think this looks now like it's got to be a secret pirate map in there? I like that. I like that. That makes me think of Pirates of the Caribbean. So I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Elizabeth's craft room today with a few pieces of 8 and a few buttons and a few other bits and pieces. And I look forward to welcoming you back again soon.